What's up, guys? So today I'm at my shop. It's a few days after November 10th, which was my last drift event. Just in a second I'll post some video of me going out there. I was gonna try and vlog the day, but I got completely just distracted, was out there just drifting, and I didn't even think to pick up the camera. So I do have GoPro footage from my helmet, so I'll post that soon. And yeah, all in all, it was a pretty awesome day. I learned a lot more, and some of it definitely was the tires in the back. Like, I was using the last event that I did, I was using like 10-year-old tires, and the rear end just felt like I was skating around. Like, it was terrible. I bought some brand new, just all seasons for the back for this event, and it felt a whole lot more grippier and a whole lot more controllable, which was actually really nice. Like, I was able to learn a lot more during that. So that was pretty cool. The car didn't break, thankfully, and the rear suspension always have had problems with. After every event, it just seems to get loose. I don't really understand why. Probably just from me beating on it. So 2 days before the event, I tightened all the rear suspension, all the lateral links and everything, so it was all good to go. And one of my last runs, I think it was the second to last run I went out, I heard the rear clunking around a little bit more. So whatever, now it's off season, so I'll fix that. So what I'll do is I'll show some GoPro footage right now, and afterwards I'll show you what we're gonna start doing with the Impreza now. So here you go. So all in all, the Impreza was doing pretty good for what it is, I guess I can say, with the lack of steering angle, which is still the greatest downfall of that car right now, because as you could probably see in some of the footage that I just put up, it wants to go sideways. Like, it is really good, actually. Like, it wants to do it, but when I finally reach the limit of how sideways I can go, obviously I need more angle, and for a lot of those corners I'm using all of the angle that the car gives, and it's just not enough. So that's one of those things, that's one of the things I want to address this winter, is I gotta do something about steering angle. I have to. So that'll be one of the #1 things I gotta do, is do steering angle. Other than that, I just want to tidy up a few things. Like, I kind of want to make it look better too. I said that in one of the previous videos. I want to make it look nicer. I spray painted it just about actually a little less than a year ago. I spray painted it, and as you can tell, it looks spray painted. So I'm gonna have my buddy Owen wrap it. I want to do different bumpers on it too, probably just because I ran that one over, so it is pretty banged up. So I want to get new bumpers, probably some side skirts, and then just wrap it, just to make it look a lot nicer, make it look cleaner, and not spray painted. And then other than that, I still have some problems with fueling when the fuel cell starts getting a little low. I really don't want to do an anti-surge tank and stuff like that. I don't feel like putting that much money into this fuel system that already cost quite a bit. So I'm gonna try and relocate the fuel tank again, put the fuel pump and fuel filter lower, because right now it's about the same level as the fuel tank, so I want to keep that a little bit lower. Maybe that'll fix it a little bit better. And then, like I said, change the location of the fuel tank, just so it's higher up. I want to get it more towards the rear axle instead of being pushed back so far where it is now. So that's definitely something I want to try and address. And then I'll probably send it to Blood and Fire Fabrication, where my BRZ currently is, and have them do front and rear bash bars on it, just because I don't want the stock front one and rear one anymore. So the rear one, actually both of them, I'll probably have them put like a center jacking point, just so it's easy to jack the car up. And then that's probably about it. Maybe I still have that other racing seat just sitting up there. I still have that one just sitting there, so I'll probably throw that one in the driver's seat, and then that Corbeau seat I have in there now, I'll swap over to the passenger side, just so then, because right now I just have a stock Impreza seat in the passenger side. And for people who do ride-alongs, it holds you, I guess, but it's not as good as a racing seat, so I'll probably do that as well. One thing I still have to do with my trunk is I still have to use the key to get into it. I know it kind of sounds stupid, but when I'm at the track and I need to access the fuel or whatever, I don't really want to have to try and find where the key is in order to open it up. So I think I'm going to do some of those hood latches and stuff on it just to make it a little bit easier. Because right now, obviously, I just have to open it with the key, and it opens. So right now, this is my fuel system. ATL 10-gallon fuel tank. I've got the DW fuel pump and fuel filter, and then just the vent just goes over to a catch can. So this is how I had it set up this whole season. For the most part, it was perfectly fine. It's just when it gets down to a little bit, just about half tank, maybe a little bit less than half tank, is when it starts sputtering a little bit while drifting. So usually in an event, it takes, a full event will probably do about half tank for me. So it's not like a huge issue, but it's something that I definitely want to try and figure out. So what I was thinking, I need to do all the measuring and stuff still, but I want to try and get the tank itself up here, like basically where the filter and the pump is. I want to try and get it up there, and instead of just having a straight vertical one, have it come off on a 90 and over to the side or something, like over here, obviously, because I won't be able to fill it because it'll be up really high, about right over here. So I kind of want to do that. I'll have to make a new cage system just to have it up that high, but then at that point I can have the pump and the filter both located like this level, when my tank will be right here. So I could have it even just right out here in the front, and then it'll be easy to access and all that stuff. One other thing I gotta do is, just like I said last time, is that my battery is just completely dead. Like, it does not hold a charge at all, so I gotta get a new one of those. But, so I want to try and do that with the fuel system, and then see if that fixes some of my problems. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna measure the height of that fuel cell, because I actually don't even know what it is. I'm going to measure the height of it and then measure that space that I wanted to put it in, just to make sure it actually fits, because I don't want to start taking stuff apart and have it not work. So I'm going to try and measure this right now, and we'll see if it'll fit. Visually looking at it, it looks like it's going to fit. I just got to make sure it will. Okay, so good news. The fuel cell is only 11 inches tall. Got to add about another inch for that cap, and I have more than enough space vertically, actually, and lengthwise, for it to fit up in that area. That's even including the cage design that I gotta try and think of. Yeah, so it'll work. So I'm pretty excited about that. So now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna drain the gas that's in here right now, because I'm pretty sure it's kind of probably full. I can't really see, I need a light. Can't do this with the camera. Hang on. Yeah, so right now it's at half a tank. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna drain this. I think what I'll probably do is just undo the AN line that's coming off of the filter maybe. Try and just undo it off of this. And then undo the clamp. And then I'll have my my VP Racing fuel can just underneath the car. And I'll just fill up the can that way. I think I'll do that. Let's give that a shot and see. Alright, so what I ended up having to do was that the fuel line coming off of the fuel filter was not going to work, just because I couldn't get the filter to come out far enough to try and get the fuel can to sit right. So I don't need to get all the fuel out of the fuel cell, I just need to get enough so it's easy to take in and out. So I undid the return line that comes from obviously the fuel rails, and that had enough slack. I'm able to use it, you know, up high like this to try and get the fuel to go into the can, or at least some of the fuel to go into the can to just make it a little bit lighter. So I've had to, since that the battery is dead, I've had to use jumper cables to my truck out there and just jump it. So I'm going to turn on the fuel pump now and try not to get fuel all over the place. Alright, so that actually worked great. I was able to get probably almost 5 gallons out of it, which was awesome. So that's going to go right into my truck because I'm not going to need it for anything else right now. So what I did right now is just put the return line back on, that one right there. Still has some fuel in the tank just in case if I need to run it just to move it around or drive it around or something like that. If it's in the shop, instead of having to jump it every single time, I just roll it around. It's light enough. So next time what we'll do is I'm probably going to start designing the new fuel cell mounting for up higher. So I'm going to have to, next time what I'll have to do is, you know, obviously take the tank out and then remove the pump and the filter, and then I'm going to start measuring, start figuring out how I'm going to go about mounting it up in that area. Also, I'll probably clean up all these wires that are up here because that doesn't go to anything anymore. So that's what's going to be next. Try and mount it up there, and then that way I'll make a bracket to weld onto the new fuel cell cage probably to mount the pump and the filter. Yeah, next time we'll start doing those things. So if you like what you see, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna be doing more videos about my Impreza and my BRZ. So get ready for those two. Also probably have some small projects here and there. And yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button. It'll definitely help me out. So until next time, see you later.